What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Speak On It. You know what it is, co-host Dom and Biv. I'm excited to be back with y'all after taking off last Saturday. I got a lot of stuff that's happening, right? College basketball, wrapping it up with the Final Fours. Um, Men's basketball, wrapping it up with the Final Fours as well. Got NFL happening. Pro days is crazy. We got the NBA with a lot of stuff that's happening in there. Um, Baseball opening week. So a lot of stuff to dive into, talk about. Get your popcorn ready. Tune in. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Um, but let's jump in. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into right what we were talking about behind the scenes in the studio. Um, Women's basketball, college basketball. Um, I'm gonna jump into talking about something that happened last night. Don't know how much of you tuned into it, Biv, but um, Arizona knocked off college prodigy Paige Beckers. Arizona with a 69-59 win over UConn and Gino Auriemma. They only had one loss. Um, I thought it was a day that I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was a day destiny. I thought it was gonna be UConn versus South Carolina. Not gonna lie to you. Got neither one. Got neither one. Now we
Yeah,
Arizona versus Sanford.
yeah. Well, UConn's a young team,
Hmm.
so you know, eventually you kind of figure they were gonna have one of those nights where everything just didn't come together, and it looked like it was gonna happen against Baylor,
Hmm.
and then um, was Richards got hurt, and once she got hurt, the tide kind of turned. They went on that big run, and they survived, and then they came out and they just didn't have it again. You know what I mean? As a complete team, there was of course there's always going to be that one or two that's just special at UConn that's going to have it. But as a cohesive unit, they didn't have it, and they weren't able to get that run that they were able to get against Baylor to bail them out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but they'll be back. It's UConn. They'll be back.
Listen, they got paid to the player of the year who is a freshman. Her teammate come join her next year, who's better than her in my opinion. Um, yeah, you kind of gonna be nasty again next year. I mean, listen, they got Gino. Gino is the best recruit in my opinion. He is the greatest recruit college sports because he gets everybody, everybody to come play for that brand. He gets everybody, every top player to come play for that team. So you know what he's doing. Um, Shout out to Erin McDonald. She locked up last night, balled. She did a number on Page, as well as score. She gave him 26 and 7 last night. She's gonna be a problem. Erin McDonald's gonna be a problem. I think I got Arizona winning it on Monday. Actually Sunday because I think that's when they play. I think they play Sunday. Um, yeah, that's what I got. I got winning it all. Arizona because Erin McDonald. But I looked at it. Well, I watched the game last night. Yeah, because Paige, I want to see what Paige Becker's. I mean, what Paige Becker's doing. She is a female Steph Curry right now. Um, if you watch the college tournaments, the men's tournament, she is Max Abrams right now to me. Even though Max isn't a known a high pro. Actually, I'll give you one more that I think that's comparison. Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs. That is who. I mean, that's her childhood friend.
I was going to say they've known each other since forever.
That's what she's close with. So Jalen Suggs is, another comparison who I think she can compare to. So like I said, I wanted to tune in and look at what she was doing. Now, hopefully, Jalen. Well, I'm hoping that Jalen's fate is the same as Paige's, but uh, but listen, the way they balling, man, I doubt it. Listen, you was on to something. The world was on to something with this. Um,
it,
yeah,
it just felt different with this group. It just felt different with this group.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that they got a layup. You know what I mean? But I don't think UCLA is gonna have the horses to keep up with them for 40 minutes.
I think they got several layups. You know what I mean? And it ain't that. It is what it is. But shoot, let's transition right into that. Um, when Livers is going for Michigan, when um, Villanova is missing their best player. Um, so when the big guns aren't playing their best players, I mean Jalen Suggs and them are healthy. You know what I mean, they got layups. I mean, it is what it is. But
But they didn't play Nova, right?
no, they didn't. They didn't play Nova, but Baylor did.
Baylor did.
You know what I mean? They didn't play Michigan, but UCLA did. You know what I mean, without their best player, so like they didn't really run into. Now listen, I thought they were gonna run into a juggernaut in USC. Not gonna lie to you, the number two player in the world. Maybe some people think the number one player in the world. He wasn't number one. He was actually the number one basketball player last year out before Cape Cunningham. I mean, over Cape Cunningham. So I thought he was gonna run. I thought he was gonna run to a little juggernaut with that height in USC. I don't know what USC coach is doing. I don't know if it's USC coaching or if it is maybe Evan Mobley is just not um, that type of demand. He doesn't demand that type of ball that way. But I would have fed Evan Mobley in that game. I would have fed him in that USC game that they played Gonzaga. I mean, if you're gonna be the number two overall pick, you got to go and dominate the number two overall pick, or like a number two overall pick. And I don't think that he did. So, um, like I said, not saying that they had some, not saying that they're not good, but I feel like they had some layups. Um, and it is what it is. Nobody really pushed them, to press them. If they played Max, he would have put that work on them.
Yeah, they don't have they haven't been in a close game where they had to dig a little deeper. They've been in kind of cruise control, but it's been because of how they've played. I don't really think it's been because the team that they've played has been playing bad. It's just that Gonzaga's been playing great. But
I'm just looking at.
eventually they're gonna get tested, and I feel like UCLA is gonna be the team that's gonna test them, just because UCLA they just have something different about them, and I just feel like they're not gonna just come in here and roll over. And I do think Gonzaga's gonna win. I don't know if it's I don't think they'll win by double figures
Here's why.
against UCLA.
Here is why I'm looking. I'm trying to look at the bracket and figure out who Gonzaga played. That was just an absolute score. You know what I mean, and I really can't see it. I'm trying to pull up the schedule, the bracket to see who they played. Um, but I can't even think of the boy name. Asian kid from UCLA. He a walking bucket. He's a walking bucket.
Gonzaga played Creighton,
No walking bucket.
Oklahoma,
No walking bucket.
Norfolk State, and USC.
No walking bucket. No walking bucket. Again, layups, like I said to you. And again, not saying that Gonzaga not going to win, but they have not been tested offensively with an offensive jug monster, somebody who comes in with the mindset that I'm going to score on you every time that I play. And right now, UCLA has that.
Okay.
He's gonna,
I'm with you. This is not going to be for me. This isn't going to be. This isn't going to be a layup at all, in
it
my
might be,
opinion.
but
I'd be shocked if it is. I don't think that UCLA talent wise isn't on the same level as Gonzaga. Talent wise, they aren't, and I think that people are starting to feel like this probably is going to be another Gonzaga blowout. I don't think so. I think UCLA is going to be in this game, but the Timmies and the Suggs, there's just going to be too much down the stretch for UCLA, and Gonzaga will make enough plays at both ends of the floor to secure. And they'll win 8-9. They might even win by 10, but it won't be one of those games where they were just dominant and controlled it from start to finish. It's going to be a fight.
yeah, I, I think Gonzaga has a lot of talent. I think that they'll win this game, but I think that um, again, I can't think of the kid's name, but I think he will be a monster scoring wise. Um, and one of the things again, not saying that um, Gonzaga is a bad team. I'm also been impressed with their defense. So um, I think it'll be a good game. But I do think Gonzaga may pull away late and it turns into a double digit win. Um, and again, maybe just on course the party. I mean, with the other best team and who's been the best team, the second best team in the nation, um, which is Baylor. I mean, maybe this is a crash course. Second best team in the nation.
I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know. This game to me can go either way because what Baylor likes to do is what Houston is great at. Baylor likes to just play one on one. They run no offense. There's no offense. There's none. It's one. It's mano y mano. Your turn, my turn. Your turn, my turn. And Houston is great defensively. Mano y mano. So if Baylor can't make the three, they're gonna struggle offensively. I thought they were gonna lose the other night. I did. I
uh,
thought they were running away with it. They were running away with that game against Oregon State. They was locking Oregon State up in the first half. I was like, "Whoa, this is gonna get ugly." And then I go right back because I started watching. I was back and forth between that game and the Baylor UConn game, Baylor UConn women's game, and I go back and it's a game. It was a game, and I'm like, man, Houston struggle offensively, just like Baylor can struggle offensively. This is going to be whoever can make the three. The team that makes the most threes wins this game. That's gonna be the difference because I think that these two teams are going to be really tough defensively. Both rebound the ball pretty well, so whoever makes the most threes wins this game.
listen. Baylor got Donovan Mitchell on the team, so that's why I think they're gonna win because they got Donovan Mitchell on the team.
Oh no, man, Grimes from Houston can go.
I
Like
like.
this is gonna. I feel like again, it's gonna be who can make whichever team makes the most threes because the dribble penetration is gonna be tough sledding, especially if the referees allow them to play. But if the referees is calling ticky tack fouls out on the perimeter and they control and the refs are the ones that control this game, Baylor will rout Houston because Baylor has the better guys offensively off the bounce and probably the better shooters. So But if the refs allow them to play, and Houston can be physical defensively, and Baylor can be physical defensively, it's gonna be a fight.
Listen, Davion Mitchell is shooting 45% from the three.
Again, whoever makes the most threes is going to win this game. Both teams shoot the three, and they shoot a lot of threes. They'll jack them up at any point in time in the shot clock. That 1-on-1, both of these teams, I feel like rebounding in the 3-pointer is gonna be what separates. Because if you can get off them offensive rebounds, that's the best time to shoot the three. That's gonna be the difference in this game. It's gonna be a good game though. I just hope the refs. Just hope the refs let them play a little bit, man. Let them be a little physical.
Yeah, I like. I'm liking. I like. I mean, I like Quentin Grimes. I like the Houston team. Baylor, boy, like you said, Baylor shoot that three, man. They shoot that three. It's gonna be good Final Four. My picks though, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Baylor, and I'm gonna go with Gonzaga. Pain me to say it, but I'm gonna go with Baylor, and I'm gonna go with Gonzaga.
I'm going Houston, Gonzaga. I like Houston's defense. I feel like if the refs allow them to play defense, they can control that game and make enough shots to win. They got enough firepower offensively. And I like their guys inside. They're pretty good. They can step out, hit the three. So I like Houston. It's not that I don't like Baylor, but they really rely on 1-on-1. I was just watching them. Every time I watch them, they rely on 1-on-1. There's not a lot of offense ran, or if the first option ain't there, it's get out the way and let me dance. So, and I know Houston does the same thing. Houston does the same thing, but I just think Houston's better defensively than Baylor is.
Gotcha. All right, let's transition because we really started the show out of whack because we usually start the show off if it's baseball season. We started off with baseball. Opening day. I know you're excited. I'm excited about it. Just coincidentally, the Braves played the Phillies opening day. You know, so hold that L. Just want to,
Man, and look, right. This is the thing, right? As soon as I seen it, I was like, Don better not say nothing. Game 1 of 162. He better not say nothing. But it was exactly what I expected to happen. I don't know why this Braves unit, man, the bats do not wake up until the temperature hits like 75 on a consistent basis. That's all of a sudden when we want to start hitting the baseball. We couldn't manufacture any offense until late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then we force it into extras, and then I'm loving the starting a guy at second base so that I'm get the job done and let's get it done. We shouldn't be playing 17, 18 innings anymore. Like, that's just ridiculous. Let's get this over. No more than 11.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you.
But what about Miguel? What about Miguel Cabrera hitting the home run in this snow? Like,
listen, this I was saying to my wife. I said, "Yo, I guess we had spring-like days in wintertime, so it's only right to have no days." Yeah, I mean,
it snowed down here. I mean, it didn't stick, but it was flurrying
mm-mm.
down here just yesterday. So
I guess it's only right. It was I'm gonna tell you, this weekend was a lot of interesting games and a lot of interesting losses. This weekend, And again, like you said, it is opening weekend. It is 1-on-1. But I was like, man, some of these losses was interesting. Like I think when you start out, you want to put your best foot forward. I was like, Yankees lost to the Blue Jays. Is this a tale of what has been happening to the Yankees over the past years? Like they have a monster roster, amazing roster. Um, but if those bats aren't hitting, they don't show up.
Not only were they not hitting, they were doing a lot of striking out. Goodness gracious. I think everybody struck out at least once, but multiple people struck out multiple times. I'd say it was embarrassing personally, but that's just me.
So I'm just saying, um, it's going on par with what I was talking about with the Yankees, and I'll say that I like the Yankees. The Yankees are my American League team. I root for the Yankees in the American League, but being real, they struggle, and I don't think that um, they are, they are like the Milwaukee Bucks of the regular season to me. Big numbers, good regular season team, but when the playoffs start, some reason they do not show up, and I just hope that is not the same this year.
I think they fixed the rotation. And because fixing the rotation, I think it's gonna take some of the pressure off the bats because you don't feel like you got to go out and score 11 runs. Also, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of these teams, because of the way that now they're being taught to hit the ball with the whole launch angle thing and everything, and basically we're just swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
It's home run or bust at this point. Um, it's affecting a lot of guys. Their averages are low, but the rest of the numbers are off the charts because you're gonna hit those 3-run bombs, you're gonna hit those 2-run bombs, you're gonna occasionally drive one into the gap, you know what I mean? Because you're just swinging, basically just swinging for the fences. But and then when you have a lot of those guys on one team, you're gonna have days like the other day where five guys, I think it's like 5 or 6 guys combined for like 12 strikeouts. Like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But that's what happens when you swing for the fence. It's home run or bust.
I agree. Um, Another game without loss. Dodgers lost to the Rockies. Um, Clayton Kershaw.
Now, did you watch that game?
I didn't watch. I didn't watch the whole game though. I watched.
You didn't watch the whole game.
Uh,
Okay. So hold on. Before I misquote. Before I misquote, let me make sure I do this right. Because they lost by
3.
3. They lost by 3. But they had a momentum change early in the game. When a 2-run home run became a 1-run home run. Because what I mean, I don't know what happened on the base pass. I still don't understand how it happened. Like, but it happened. And I really think that changed the momentum in that game. I just felt like the Dodgers should have won that game, but everything changed when that happened.
So the play you're talking about, let's talk about that real quick. Who was that for?
I don't know. I like I was trying to figure it out. Like who do you blame?
I blame Justin Turner. That's who I blame. Cody hit the ball. It looked at, well, in all intents and purposes, it was a home run. So Cody was supposed to run the bases, right? He was supposed to run the bases.
Uh-huh.
And I am with you. Like it is like I don't know who to blame because it's perspective. Cody like, okay, I got a home run. Justin Turner looking at it, he said he looked like he grabbed it. So I gotta run. I gotta double back. The issue is the lack of communication. When you see Justin Turner run by you, and you see Cody Bellinger run the other way, like
Because at the same time, I can blame the first base coach. Like there's so many people here that can be at fault because it went in his glove,
mm-hmm.
and then as he was turning it over, he dropped it. So from Justin Turner's perspective, he did catch it.
Yep.
So when he seen it go in his glove, he's like, "Oh, let me get back before he doubled me up." Because it's possible to get doubled up
Mm-hmm.
from where he was running. He don't run that great. He was already around the second,
Yep.
hitting
That's
the
the third.
third,
Yep.
hitting the third. So if he made that catch, he could have threw him out and doubled him up. So he was trying to get back, and I'm like, the third base coach, in my opinion, should have been the guy because he should have been the guy that had the best angle to see that ball fell out of that glove. So I blame the third base coach. That's who I blame.
I got you. Blame it on coaching, man. Just like a player, I tell you. So
But that game changed. That game changed after that. That's a two. That's a two-run homer.
I agree. I agree with you. Like I said, I won't put too much stock in opening weekend. Um, but I do want to put you on the spot. I know we prepared for this, but I was just sitting and thinking about it as we were thinking. As I'm scrolling through some of these baseball numbers. Um, off top of your head, National League MVP, American League MVP. And I guess we'll do a show about it when we pick all the awards. I don't know if we did one earlier in the year. I don't think we did, but off the top of your head, American League MVP, National League MVP. I know it's tough. It's tough.
American League MVP. I'm gonna go with somebody from the Blue Jays.
Ooh,
Um,
that's crazy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not sure who it's gonna be, but I'll go Springer. I'll go George Springer.
The reason you said Blue Jays because that's what I was thinking. That's where I was going. Vlad.
I was thinking Vlad Jr. too. I really was thinking Vlad Jr., but I went George.
Yeah, I think
But I
again.
am thinking somebody from the Blue Jays. I like what they're doing over there. I like it.
I'm gonna give you uh under the radar. I don't know if he'll win it because the team he plays for. Um, but I'm gonna stick with George old team, and I'm gonna go Altuve. I'm gonna go Altuve as well under the radar. That's one. So between that and Altuve, and my National League. If Tamon was here, he gonna say, "Hit the button, bias alert."
You better not say Bryce.
I'm going with Bryce. I'm going with Bryce. That's my bias pick. Now my real pick is Tatis Jr. That's my real pick. Um, but I do think Bryce has a legit shot if we are in the hunt. I think Tatis is going to be the best player, the best team in the whole MLB. But I'll give you an under radar one as well, and it's Nolan Arenado.
That's my guy. I'm picking him to win it. I think the Cardinals are going to be. I think they're going to be pretty good. And I think it's going to be because of him. So I got him winning it. But a guy that I think everybody should probably keep an eye on, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here, is Blake Snell.
Ooh.
Because I think he with more innings and not being on with dealing with that system that he was dealing with in Tampa, he's gonna get more innings, which means his numbers are gonna be even better. I think even in playing in that division, I think I think Blake Snell. I'm just throwing it out there. I really think the Padres are going to be really good. And I think him at the top of that rotation with Yu Darvish is going to be really, really good.
I guess again we can do a show when we prepare for it. But as we talk, I got one I said to watch out for that popped into my mind. Jose Ramirez. Snow, can't think. Francisco, no, they're not there no more. He gonna shoulder a lot of the burden. And listen, he been in the past couple years, he been a monster anyway. Yeah, I mean, so.
I don't know though, because one of the things now is, do I have to pitch to him?
Yeah.
Do I have to pitch to him? I don't have to pitch to him now because he doesn't have that. He doesn't have all of those guys around him anymore. So I don't have to pitch to him. I can pitch around him. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how they approach him.
Same thing with Nolan.
So
Nolan ain't got all those. Nolan ain't got Trevor Story and them around him no more.
Yeah, but he still got Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, listen, I'd rather pitch the Paul.
Huh?
I'd rather pitch the Paul than Nolan.
Paul Goldschmidt he can still sling it.
No doubt.
He can still sling it. So you pick your poison.
No doubt. And I know poison I'm gonna pick. It's gonna be Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, and then when you get burned, you're gonna start pitching to Nolan again.
And then
I think Nolan has enough. I think he has enough protection around him. He's got more protection around him than Jose Ramirez.
I agree. He got more protection around him than Jose Ramirez. I 100% agree with that. All right. What you think
about Yelich? Is he gonna have a bounce back season?
I think he will. I just don't know if the Brewers will be good enough for it to matter. But I think he will. I think he can't. He's one of the best players in baseball. And he had the worst season of his career in the Brewers uniform last year. I just don't know if he can. I mean, he can only go up from what he did last year. So I think he'll have a bounce back season. I'm sitting here looking at some stuff, and I'm like, does the Nationals have a bounce back year? Do they have a bounce back year? Because their team, their lineup is nasty.
They'll be back.
Just
that division is unfortunately somebody's not gonna make the playoffs.
Shoot, maybe two teams are gonna make the playoffs. Because even when we're talking about the Marlins, we can say they're the Marlins, but the Marlins are an alright team.
Yeah, they're just as good as the Phillies.
Hey now, brother. Come on. Don't put us in the same bracket with the Marlins.
Somebody made the playoffs last year and somebody didn't. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
that's all I'm gonna say.
They had like 50 breaks in they should have playoffs.
Hey. That was out of their control.
They look like they was catching COVID on purpose.
Hey, whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, I guess. Question. Neither one of us think Mike Trout going win MVP?
I think there's too many other guys that I know he's gonna have a good season like he always does, but there'll be too many other guys having good seasons on winning teams to keep giving it to him, and his team's not having the success on the field. Like, so I think the days of just giving it to him just because he was phenomenal, I think those days are over. Like, I think people are like, all right, you've got the guys with you now. We need to start seeing more wins.
And I know what you'll probably say, but I don't think it would have been biased. But love for Freddie?
I was gonna go Ronald, honestly. Acuna, I think it's his time. I think it's his time to shine. I mean, him and Ozzy are the two guys that's gonna really, really carry us. if we're gonna win a World Series. Freddie's gonna be Freddie. He's gonna be Freddie. But if we're gonna take that next step, it's gonna have to be Acuna and Albies.
I got you. All right, let us switch over to basketball real quick. Lots happening. You said this, and I don't think we've talked about it on the show since you said it. The Lakers ain't looking good for the Lakers. Not looking good. I was looking at their schedule, and I was like, man, I got them losing 13 straight. Not lying. Not lying. I got them losing. Unless AD and LeBron come back quickly, bruh.
Goodness, 13 straight, bro.
Listen, I'm pulling their numbers. I'm pulling their schedule right now.
13 straight.
Maybe not now because they just beat the Kings, but yo, bro, I'm going to read off their schedule. And again, I think they said LeBron and them will come back for like three weeks, and they said AD got around like 2 more weeks till he comes back. So listen to this schedule, bro. All right, so they did beat they did beat Sacramento last night, so not 13 straight anymore. So it's more than like 11 straight. But they got the Clippers tomorrow. That's a loss to me. They got Toronto in Toronto. That could be a dub, but I pencil it as a loss because it's on the road. They got Miami. And Miami. That's a loss, in my opinion. So that's 3 straight. They got Brooklyn and Brooklyn. We know that's a loss. New York and New York. That could be a win or a loss. But I like the way Julius Randle them is playing, so I picked that as a loss. Charlotte, that's a iffy game, but Charlotte's playing for a playoff spot, so I think Charlotte will get that dub. Boston, Utah.
Go either way.
Yeah, Boston go either way. Even with LeBron not playing.
Yep.
They got Boston. They got Utah twice. They got Dallas twice. That is their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the next 11 opponent.
I feel you.
That's the brutal schedule without LeBron and them, man.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's a tough schedule.
Man. Andre's coming. Andre's gonna get right.
Man, get the freak out of here. But I'm with you though. I'm with you. Okay, Andre. I get Andre.
Andre gonna come back, man. Andre gonna come back. I think Andre gonna come back. Man, if Kuz is gonna ball out, he gonna go out there. Kuz is gonna average. If he can average 22 to 25, if Montrez can do what he's supposed to do as a 6th man of the year, he just won it last year. He's not looking like anything resembling that on a consistent basis. He has his nights, and then he has nights like last night. Kuz was great, but Montrez was nowhere to be found. If Dennis is Dennis, they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. I don't think they're. All they gotta do is avoid falling out of 8th.
Well, okay, because they ain't gonna fall out of 8th. So
that's all they gotta do.
But listen,
they're coming. They're coming to 7th.
Like I said, by the time LeBron don't get back, they're gonna be 7th.
They're gonna get ran down. They're gonna get ran down,
7th, bro.
They're gonna get ran down. That's without a doubt. I was feeling like it was gonna happen sooner than later. But after Kuz did what he did last night, I was like, maybe.
Kuz plays well against Luke Walton.
I think it's personal.
He showed up against Luke Walton. Now he's gonna turn right back into Kyle Kuzma tomorrow. He's gonna turn right back to Kyle Kuzma tomorrow.
Because they're 4 games out of 7th right now, and that's Dallas, who's playing pretty good right now themselves. So Denver is right there. They're only a half game out of 5th. They're a full game out of 6th. Like this could get bad if they don't play good basketball as a cohesive unit. And I want to touch on something. Real quick. since we talk about the Lakers. I heard people say that they wouldn't have traded KCP and Horton Tucker for Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, they didn't want to see that. It was more so the number. It was so that the numbers that match up, but they did not want to offer Horton Tucker and deals. What?
I don't know.
And
I understand. I understand if you sold on me. I understand it. It's cool. I understand. I understand if you sold on it. But how sold are you on it? What investment is he going to be? Is he going to just be a role player for the next 3 to 4 years with LeBron and AD? Is that what he's just going to be, or is you sold that he's going to be a star after this run with them? Like,
right.
I'm confused. And then I'm no disrespect to KCP, but KCP, y'all that impressed with him? Like, y'all that impressed with him because of last year? Like, I've never been that impressed with him that I wouldn't trade him in a package for Kyle Lowry for right now.
And that's what it's about. It's about the right now. Honestly, I would have traded Dennis Schroeder. I would have traded Dennis Schroeder for Kyle Lowry as well. Don't get me wrong. I think Dennis is balling, but championship pedigree. Kyle Lowry has been the face of a franchise, and he is a win now right now. Also, with the reports that Dennis Schroeder turned down your offer, 4 years, 84 million, I think.
Yep.
I would have traded him for Kyle Lowry. With no guarantees that Kyle Lowry will come back. I would trade him because guess what? Kyle Lowry don't come back, that's $30 million off of my books next year. Where now I can maneuver on where I go from there. Let's say, I don't know, another LA star decides that, oh, you know what? We get bounced out early in the first round or second round again. And I don't wanna go back to LA. I don't want to go play for the Clippers no more. And he becomes available. Kyle Lowry, $30 million off your books. You maneuver yourself to position yourself to be able to bring a LA kid to purple and gold.
All I know is they better work.
Yeah.
KCP and Horton Tucker better perform and they better contribute major in this run. Like major. Because that was not to me, I'm like, why are we thinking about our future plans when look should be focused everything should be focused on the here and right now because of the guys that we have. Like LeBron only has I know Tom Brady is continuing to perform, but Tom Brady is playing quarterback. He's not playing quarterback and defense. Like he's doing a lot, but he's not doing what LeBron is gonna have to do on a basketball court, running up and down for 35 to 40 minutes a night. That's a lot to continue to keep asking him. So you're gonna need all the people that you can get to make that run easier for him. Like this is another injury. This is another injury in 3 years. This is 2 injuries in 3 years. And that's not something that we're used to seeing with him. I know we think he's superhuman, but something it's not Kobe-esque, but it isn't it's not what we're used to seeing with LeBron as far as him being hurt.
What you said, basically what you said, just pull up the numbers. So 2012, I think that was a lockout season. He played 62 games. In Cleveland, played 69 in 2014, 2015. He missed 13 games there. But I think that was really more so rest. It wasn't really injury, anything like that. Then, again, you're looking at it, he's not really missing games due to injury. And then, gets to the Lakers. 55 games from 2018, 2019. Major injury. LeBron? Goku? Goku get injured?
Yeah, man.
Then this year, injury.
Yeah, and it's never nothing like too major that needs surgery or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Thankfully, but it is still injuries that we're not used to seeing him sustain.
Yep.
So he's just it is. He's put a lot of wear and tear on his body. That's why he puts invests a lot of money into it. So
Like you said, this is why
this is why
you
you got to invest into the
now,
here and now, man.
here and now.
You need to get worry about getting better right now, not worry about getting better and trying to retain things for later on.
Because for all his purposes, like AD is he's the next thing when LeBron leaves. You have your future. You have AD. You have it. And
Yeah.
honestly,
And honestly, if you were worried that much about the future more than the here and now, you shouldn't have traded for AD.
yep,
You had the future. You
yep.
had the future.
Brandon
Look at
Ingram,
Brandon Ingram,
Lonzo Ball,
Lonzo Ball.
Josh Hart. You
You had your future.
and you had the top
You
pick.
mortgaged it. You mortgaged it to make sure that you can get the here and now. And now you're making decisions based on the future. That to me that just didn't make sense.
I agree. Dude, and y'all got the young Andre Drummond. I think people keep forgetting that he only 27.
Yeah. I think, that's going to be a really, really great defensive front line with him and AD.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be nasty, bro. Rebounds, don't miss, cause it's gonna be tough getting rebounds. It's gonna be tough getting rebounds.
Yes.
Outside of Philly, because they just got an absolute monster. It's gonna be tough. Maybe Portland, but Portland don't. I don't feel like Portland. Portland got a lot of bigs, but do they bigs really rebound and play D?
Mm-mm.
So
I think Bo could become interesting in that series if that were to happen. I think he could play a role in that series. I think he would have to have more minutes because of his size.
yeah, it's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. All right, let me ask you this transition. Well, not transition, but ask you this. In the West, who is with the Lakers? Let's say the Lakers. Um, well, the Lakers is what it is, and they did. Now, do you think is the biggest threat in the West, or the biggest? Who's taking the biggest leap in the Lakers' absence to actually come out of the West to win a championship?
If it's not the Lakers, I don't know. I really don't. I'm gonna have to go with Denver. I'm gonna have to go with Denver. I like the Aaron Gordon addition. It kind of fills the void that was left by Jeremy Grant.
Mm-hmm.
So I like what they're doing.
I agree.
Gary Harris he just didn't give you much, and it was time to move on from him.
And you don't need Gary Harris. Um, I'm pulling up some stats real quick. Um, but I do agree with you with Denver. I say that hesitantly and reluctantly because I on Denver last year. I was high on them last year, and they let me down. I mean, I can't say it was a letdown. They went to the Western Conference Finals. You know what I mean? So can't really say it was a letdown, but I thought I picked them to go. But this is what I want to say. This is what I think is the Denver Nuggets, and I think that they are going to be monster-esque because Mike Malone did what I have been has done what I've been saying for a while, which was put him in the starting lineup and he is your best offensive weapon, and that's light skin Kevin Durant. He been balling. He been balling. Light skin Kevin Durant been balling, man. Shooting the ball. He still got to get better on defense, but he is playing better defense right now. Um, I just think because Jokic is the playmaker, he doesn't get a lot of time playing making as a playmaker. But yeah, Michael Porter Jr. is balling, and also with the addition of Aaron Gordon, he takes off some. He takes up some of that defensive defensive problems that off of that guy. Over the last 10, he's been balling. Shooting, he give you 21 a game, shooting 58% from the field, 51% from the three. That's Michael Porter Jr.'s numbers, bro. Over the last 10 games. Killing them. So, I think...
Let me ask this question. Who's been more disappointing? The Wizards or the Pelicans?
Pelicans, for sure. Pelicans. You know, I wasn't really high on the Wizards as you was in the beginning. But the Pelicans... Here's the thing about the Pelicans. What was their issue last year?
Defense.
Okay. This year they're rated 7th in offense, but their defense is still trash. So we made the change from Alvin Gentry to Stan or Jeff. Stan Van Gundy. And his are supposed to be defense. Yet they're still trash in defense. And here's another thing. This is why I think it's a lot really disappointing. Why do they keep signing all these guards? You got Josh Hart. You got Eric Bledsoe. You got the guy Nikhil whatever his name is, Alexander. You got him. You got Lonzo. You got Curry. And then you just signed Isaiah Thomas? It's like you don't have no vision. And guess what? They don't play defense.
And I'm still trying to figure out why they signed Steven Adams to a long-term deal. He doesn't fit your team and the way you should want to play basketball. He doesn't fit it. Like it doesn't. And then JJ Redick basically said it. He basically said it. Like they don't trust him. Like they don't know. They don't know what. Basically, they don't know what they're doing over there. They don't. They're just over there. We got a team. Do whatever. The money's gonna come.
that.
Especially with that guy.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on in New Orleans. And again, I think their best lineup, the lineup that you can play, killer lineup, closing lineup, be Zion at the 5. That should be. And then you got the Jackson.
I was gonna say I disagree. I think Jackson at the 5. Because he can fly up and down. Because you should be pushing the basketball. Like your defense should be good because you should be creating turnovers with all the athleticism and all the like Lonzo at the top and that defense. You got Zion that's long and athletic. Brandon Ingram, like that defense should be really, really good. You should be able to get out and run. Jackson Hayes protecting the rim, creating turnovers. Like that team should be exciting to watch and should be winning more games because they play solid defense because they have the pieces to be a really good defensive team. So I don't know. I guess I'm just expecting something out of somebody that I'm not going to get. So that's my fault. But Stan Van Gundy, You know me. I've never been high on him. Never been high on him. Ever since he got fired and Pat Riley came down and won an NBA championship, I was like, that was been it. That why does he continue to get a job after that? Like he should not be able to work in the NBA after his the guy that hired him to do his job said I can do your job better than you still. Even though I haven't done this in a while, I can still do it better than you.
and one championship that year with
He
his
won
team.
a
I agree.
championship that year. Come on. After
I agree.
that, he
Well,
probably
Stan
he
did take
probably shouldn't he probably shouldn't work again.
I think a year later, Stan did take Orlando to the finals. So, yes,
That was a
yeah,
few years. It was a few years later, and
3 years later.
the stars had to align perfectly. He got gifted a Celtics team that was hobbled. KG hurt. I think Paul Pierce and Ray Allen, both of them, one of them was hobbled as well. And then
You beat the
Mo,
King.
and then Mo Williams couldn't throw a rock in the ocean the entire series. And then they got exactly what they were supposed to get out of here real quick and real easy in the NBA Finals. Come on, like we can't like they got out of there real fast because they had no business being there, and they didn't sniff it. They didn't sniff it afterwards. They got worse. They didn't even sniff it afterwards, and then the White wanted out of there.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
what did he do? What did he do in Detroit?
Well, listen, I'm gonna say this about Detroit. Detroit is where coaches go to die.
But he was the GM too. He was making it all. He was making the front office decisions too.
He shouldn't have had all that power. But Detroit, listen, I feel sorry for my man. I feel sorry for Dwayne Casey. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel
I
sorry
don't.
for Dwayne Casey.
I don't. He decided to go there.
He had no. Listen, they
He
X
had
out my man out of Toronto. X out my man.
he had other choices. He decided to go to Detroit. He could have went to college. He could have went somewhere. Somebody wanted his services after what he had done in Toronto.
Listen, yeah. Sorry, Dwayne, get out, Dwayne.
Yes, get out of Detroit fast
Dude.
with all your forward centers in there out there.
I don't know what they doing down there, man. I don't know what
They
doing
got
down
8 guys that play the same position.
there. All of them, and I ain't listen to that. None of them see the court.
So
None of them see the court. But uh, I wanted to go to the East. All right. Who wins it? That is what is intriguing to me. And then I'll ask you the same question that you asked. I'll ask you 2 questions. Most surprising team in the East, most disappointing team in the East. And I guess I know who you'll say the most disappointing team in the East is because well no, you know what? I don't know because there's some disappointing teams in the East. There's a couple of disappointing teams in the East.
I'll go. The team I think is going to win it is Brooklyn. I think, and it's not again. They have a lot of names. They have a lot of names, but those names are got to come together and play in order for them to win. But one of the things that's being really, really like kind of like glossed over right now is the fact that KD hasn't played in like forever.
I didn't even know he's still on
And
the team.
we don't even know why. Like we really don't know.
I know why. He out here have social media beefs. That's why. That's why. Not.
Like, and I'm like, yo, what is go? I'm like, man, but they are still on top of the East, and that's with James Harden and Kyrie both having different stints being out as well. So they've got all the ingredients to win it, but I'm gonna pick them. But Philadelphia is gonna give them everything they can handle.
I agree with you. I wish they would have made a move. I mean, I like the George Hill move. I wish somehow, some way, we could have figured out a way to bring in Kyle or Vic, who was sold for a bag of peanuts to Miami. Listen, that's another situation, another topic I want to touch on. Houston. Somehow I got actually a couple of questions about them, but not right now. After we get to this thing, but actually I brought it up. I think we can circle back. What the f is? He should just give up. Just Houston and period. Houston period. It's something in the water down in Houston, or not in the water, whatever. I don't know, but the Astros, the Rockets, the Texans, they must all go to the Sodium Social Club, all their owners. And they might all just say, I wonder, hey, how can we make the city look bad? How can we make our franchises look trash? How can we exile, not now, listen, Altuve and them, they did on themselves, but how can we exile our stars, like everything in Houston, sports-wise, it's just bad.
Yeah, the college basketball team is the bright spot right now. But I don't blame Houston for this. I blame all of a sudden your boy like a diva. It's Vic. It's Vic. Like I feel like he was gonna be such a cancer. They just had to get rid of him.
But here's the problem why I had to blame Houston because, and I guess maybe you talk about, but I make it work. I got to figure out something.
But I mean, I blame Houston because they made the deal for him in the first place.
No, I got that. So I got to blame Houston for that. But I could have had Karis LeVert, Josh Allen, and them boys, Jared Allen, and them boys, but I said no. I want Victor Oladipo. I could have had a top 10 player in the NBA, but I said no because I had a grudge. Could have had Ben Simmons. The closest thing to James Harden, or getting returned to James Harden, would have been Ben Simmons and the picks. Not what they got. And then they gave up Vic for peanuts because he had a grudge. That's bad business. All the Houston, listen, I think this is what I think the Houston owner should do. They should put all their teams in a hat, shake them up, and make them all pick. And whoever draws the team, that's what team you own. Like Kyle McNair, you pick out the Houston Rockets. Kyle McNair, you are the owner of Houston Rockets now. Like that's what they should do because what they're doing right now is not working.
They've been the Rockets' decision making has been questionable. I mean, even the trade, like you traded away Russ for John Wall. It was questionable because you didn't know what John Wall was going to be like. Like, thankfully, he's shown signs of being close to himself, but he still can't stay on the floor.
I would rather have Russ. Here's the issue. You should have got rid of James Harden when he said he wanted out instead of trying to hold on to him. Because what you could have done is got rid of James, got the haul for James, and then built around Russ, who's a better player. Like, if you build around Russ, I think that you are closer to a playoff team right now with Christian Wood, Russell Westbrook, and them boys than you are than with Jack.
But Russ wanted out too.
Listen, I would have held up. Listen, Russ would have still showed up. Russ would have still showed up and played. Even though he wanted out, he would have still showed up because he's Brody. He's going to give you all that he got. James Harden was like, all right, listen, bro, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show up and play, but I'm going to show you. I'm a cancer. I'm not like Russ. He would have gave, because that's who Russ is. He's not going to take plays off. He out there. I got put my trade demands out there. I'm going to give you everything I got.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But circling back, man, to the East, I just had to get it out there because Tim Fertitta is dumb. Anyway, circling back to the East. So yeah, you said Brooklyn. I think it's gonna be Philly, and that's not a bias alert. I just think that they have when Joel Embiid went out, they still rode the ship, and they actually still have the tiebreaker against Brooklyn right now. So if Philly wins tonight, they're actually on top. Even with them having the same record, they still got another game. I just think that Philly has what no other team in the East have, and almost no other team in the NBA has, which is an answer for what Brooklyn can throw at you. They're gonna slow it down. They're gonna dump it down to their big guy, and they're gonna go to work. You know what I mean? And even if Brooklyn go like what Brooklyn did was get better for other teams. I don't care who you. Yeah, I don't care if you throw Blake Griffin on Joel Embiid. I don't care if you throw LaMarcus Aldridge on Joel Embiid. I don't care if you throw Nick Claxton or if you throw DeAndre Jordan on him. You still have no answer for that guy. So while you are loading up, you still ain't got no answer for that guy.
Yeah, but y'all got to play defense on the other end too.
I get it, which we're number one ranked defense in the NBA. I can also throw Ben Simmons on
Which one? Pick your poison.
on. I'm going to throw him on James Harden because he's the one that makes everyone go.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pray that everybody else misses. You know what I mean? Listen, this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna throw on James Harden. Kevin Durant, he ain't missing, so you can just forget that. What I'm going to do with Kevin Durant is I'm going to throw my weakest defender on Kevin Durant because why waste one of your better defenders on him? Because he going score regardless. And then I'm just going double Kyrie. That's all. Listen. And no matter what you do with them, they're gonna get buckets.
Yep. And that's the to me that's the issue. That's the only issue. I just don't think that Philly has the firepower. You know what I mean?
Gotta slow it down.
It's just one. It's just one. It's Tobias. If Tobias said I'm an all-star, he said it.
Yeah,
I'm
he
an
did.
all-star. If he performs at all as an
He
all-star
plays the all-star
level
level. Woo!
throughout the playoffs, Philly
Woo!
will give Brooklyn everything they have
I agree.
if he plays at that level.
I agree with you. If he does now, Philly is deeper than we are deeper
Yes.
than Brooklyn. We are deeper than Brooklyn. Just man, they top heavy as a mother.
And I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Spencer Dinwiddie's not out. We keep forgetting that. If he's healthy, I don't even think there's a question about who's gonna win it.
Listen, I still think it's a question because of 21. That's why I still think it's a question because you can still slow it down. You have no answer for him. You got to make sure you maximize your possessions. But I agree with you, man. Spencer Dinwiddie not being there, that's scary, bro. That's scary because they actually he ain't gonna be with that team next year anyway. So woo, praise the Lord because he's a free agent. they ain't got the money to get him. So thank God. But yeah, that's a scary thought. Yeah, I mean if they had him this year. So I do think Philly wins it, but I think that I think Philly is the number one seed in the East. I do think if you had to hold my feet to the fire and ask me who actually wins the Eastern Conference go to represent the finals, I would say right now I would have to go with Brooklyn. I'm not gonna lie. And the only reason I say that is because I don't know what Tobias is gonna score, but I don't know what Ben is gonna show up in the playoffs. Like if we get aggressive Ben Simmons and he remains aggressive, I think I don't care what Brooklyn throw. I think an aggressive Ben Simmons is an unstoppable Phillies team. I don't care. The boy's 6'10", 6'11", downhill. You know what he does on the defensive end. Brooklyn has no answer for that. But I don't know if we're gonna get aggressive Ben and I don't know if that is what Doc and them tell him. Like I would legit tell Ben Simmons if I was docking them, run people over. I would run people over. If they're gonna get in your way, run them over.
Mhm.
But I think Ben does not want to make mistakes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ben run people over. If they get in your way, run them over. I guarantee they won't do it all series. They won't. They will not get in your way all series. They're gonna eventually start getting out of your way because Joel Embiid banging on them, and now you running them over. Kyrie Irving ain't gonna want you getting ran over. James Harden ain't gonna want you getting ran over. So,
I'm
but
with
yeah,
you.
most disappointing team in the East to me, it's like three of them. But I picked Toronto not to make the playoffs. I was high on Indiana, but the most disappointing team in the East is Boston.
Agreed.
It's Boston.
Agreed.
That's
And honestly, it's weird because they made a move for a guy and he's been terrible. Evan Fournier has been absolutely terrible, man. And he's better than that. And hopefully he can get it going. But right now, boy, they don't look like they got it better.
Here's where I think Danny Ainge is like. I'm scratching my head like, Danny, what are you doing? Because who's the monster in the East? Who's a monster in the East? To me, the best player in the East right now, I give you two of them off the top of my. Well, I give you three of them playing right now. The best players in the East. Joel Embiid. You downgraded, so you have no answer for him. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Post. No answer for him. And James Harden. Okay, you want to throw guards at James Harden? All right. But the two monsters that you may face in the East, you traded bigs away. You got smaller. You think Tristan Thompson is going to be able to stop Joel Embiid? You think he's going to be able to stop Giannis Antetokounmpo? They're going to be a one and done. I'm not going to lie to you. Boston's going to be one and done. They most disappointed.
Yeah, I don't know. They took a major step back. Now, granted, their top four guys haven't played a lot of games together. Talking about Jalen, Jason Kimba, and Marcus Smart, they haven't played a lot of games together. But no one expected them to be fighting for a playoff spot, even with missing guys. They should still be fighting for home court advantage in the first round.
Listen, I can't be sympathetic to their top four. Not Philly, Joel Embiid missed 14 games. Ben Simmons missed 10 games. Steph Curry missed 2 weeks. Like
Yeah.
their top ain't missed. James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and you just said it in KD. They only played 7 games together.
Yep.
They still finding ways to win.
Yep. There's no excuse. Like I get it. I get it. They haven't played a lot of time together, but you still shouldn't be scraping the bottom of the playoff board.
I agree. Surprise team in the East. I'm gonna tell you. Again, I can go three ways, man. I gotta go Charlotte. Gotta go Charlotte. I want to go New York. I want to go Atlanta, but Charlotte is a surprise to me. I did not think Gordon Hayward made them this good. That's what that. The key to Baltimore was Gordon Hayward. I get it. It was Gordon Hayward.
And we're seeing it. We're seeing it. Gordon Hayward was even though he didn't play a lot of games with him, he made them a little he made them a little bit better. But I'm with you. For me, if it wasn't for the fact that LaMelo Ball was hurt, they could be fighting for a third seed right now. I don't think they would get to that 1 or 2, but they could be fighting Milwaukee for that third seed if he didn't go down. They'll be a little higher. Their record would be a little better. They'd have another 3 to 4 wins if he wasn't hurt.
I agree. I agree with you. All right. Let's get to this. Let's wrap it up with this football talk. A lot of pro days happening. I text you after Justin Fields pro day. I'm gonna tell you, man. Justin Fields looked good, bro. I know We question him with his big games and stuff like that. But on paper, man, he just look. I'll say this: we can question every. I can question every top quarterback's big game this year except one, and I think he's the fifth best quarterback in this draft. So just what I seen on Justin Fields with his pro days, combine, everything like that, he looking good, man. And I think he has. I think he has a shot to be very real good in this class.
One, pro days don't they never impress me. What pro days are designed for? They're designed for you to look good. What's alarming is if you don't look good. That's when you're just like, "Ooh, red flag." But if you go out and you do what you're supposed to do, that's what you were supposed to do. It's designed for you to look good. It's designed for you to have a really quality 40. It's designed for you to make all the throws and look good. That's the point of it. You want to look the part. I think he's got the biggest upside of the draft. I think he's probably the third, maybe the fourth ready right now guy. But I think he's got the biggest upside because I think his athleticism separates him from the rest of the guys. My question, my question with Justin really is just about how he's going to transition and do what they're going to ask him because they're going to try to change him. That's it for me. If they're going to let him be who he is, he'll be fine. But if they're going to try to change him and make him into a pocket passer, yeah, I feel like he's going to struggle.
If you draft him to make him a pocket passer, you need to be fired.
But that's what they always want to do. That's what they always want to do because and then you see guys like Lamar having years where it looks like he was struggling last year. So they're going to start. We're going to start having more and more questions about these types of quarterbacks, and that's the only hiccup with Justin is that they're going to try to mold him into being something that he's not.
Fired. Yeah, I think I think the one with the most upside is Lance Trey, but I agree, Justin Fields. You can't go wrong. You know what I mean, if you see Justin Fields as well. Um, 49, 49ers, man, what they do with the pick?
It better be Justin. It better be Justin. Like I understand if it's Zach. I understand. I understand if it's Zach. But for me, I don't think I think you move up for the dynamic. You know what I mean? Like I think Zach again. I think Zach is probably the most ready right now, quarterback in the draft. He's the most ready right now.
Over
But
Trevor.
over Trevor, yes. I think he's the most quarterback. I think he's the most ready, polished quarterback to perform right now. I
Okay.
don't like. I don't. I'm. Trevor's never really been that
He's
impressive.
just 6'6".
He looks the
Go.
part. He looks the part. He looks the part. But there's nothing. He doesn't jump off the field to me on film. Like he looks the part again. He looks the part, but he doesn't jump off the. He doesn't jump off the film to me. For
Okay.
me, for me is that like but for me if I'm gonna move up that high I want to make sure that I'm getting the guy that's gonna not just be ready now but has that upside that's gonna be my quarterback for the next 10, 15 years and for me that would be Justin.
I agree with you. I like Trey, so that's why I think that they should go Trey. But one thing I hear, if they go Mac Jones,
you moved up to get another Jimmy
Jimmy
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo, you move to get another Jimmy.
You mortgage a little bit of your future to get the
For what's
quarterback
already there.
for the quarterback you already got.
And I heard a report today said they asked for a number one. They asked for a first round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, Howie Roseman.
You might get a first round pick in 2042. But you're not getting,
Ask for a first round
you're
pick for
not
Jimmy
getting,
Garoppolo.
you're
Oh
not
my
getting
God.
one. You're not getting one in the near future. Come on, it's Jimmy Garoppolo at best. At best, because let's be honest with ourselves. He's not been a consistent quarterback when he's on the field, and he's not been on the field a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. Feel like I'm by stuff like that. I guess we could tap on that a little later, probably next week. I want to wrap them up. I want to finish. Unless you have something else, I want to finish with the Deshaun Watson. Um, I did hear yesterday, or I read somewhere that one of the females did file a report. Did read that.
Yeah, I
I
seen
want to
something
say
about that the Houston police were doing an
the
investigation now.
investigation. Yeah, this is what I will say. I hope it's not right, not true, but also hope it is true because I don't. I just hope that the girl who is just not that dumb. You know what I mean? Because if 19 others, if 19 others girls came out and said the show ain't never he ain't never did that to me. Never. And now I think that because that report came out and they had um all 18 of them had their name attached to it, I think that the lawyer was like, all right, I need one. I need one. I need somebody that has to attach their name to it. And then that's the girl. She did that. So I'm hoping that it's not true. Um, for the Sean's benefit, but I just hope that the girls ain't this dumb. And I hope, like we know the conspiracy theories. I hope Kyle McNair is not this dumb. I just hope he's not this dumb.
Yeah, I hope he's not this dumb. It's one of those. This it's one of these situations where if he did it, he needs to be punished for it.
Mm-hmm.
No question in that. It's just the murkiness of the situation. It's just, that makes everybody question it. Nobody's questioning because we're pigs and we don't believe women. Nobody's questioning it based on that. Everybody's questioning because of just the timing of it, and really the outcome of it, the circumstances that can come out of it. Like we don't know what's gonna happen, you know, what his trade value is gonna be. He's been winning out. Like there's so many different things around it. The timing of it is just like wow, like really now of all times. This is when it's coming out. So I also, for his sake, that's the worst defense that he can have. Oh, I didn't rape these 18 women.
I was here thinking like
That's not the best defense. That's the best defense. Like that's the road that we want to go down. Hey, I didn't touch these 18 women. Like
all
if
that
that's
means
the
is that
only
you wasn't interested in them
you
18.
was you just wasn't interested in them. They just didn't do it for you. Or they maybe just didn't do it for you at that moment. Whatever. But that's not the best defense that you can come up with. Like
I
if that's your defense is that you didn't touch these 18 women, then this is not gonna go well for him.
I
Like
do think that the defense was that the 18 was willing to put their name attach their names to a claim, and the other 18 or 19 or whatever it was wasn't willing to attach it, and there was no filing. But now that there's a filing, what's to say that the others don't start filing, and the others don't start attaching their names to it? I mean, like you said, it's a murky situation. I think it's gonna go on for a while, and maybe again, it's just the timing of everything. I think I read a report where it said one of the first ones was in 2018. Houston, we have a problem because 2018, man, y'all knew about this. if this is the situation, and it happened in 2018, Houston, Kyle McNair, man, you knew about this.
And the thing of this is the thing, and I mean, I said it in the chat. Like, if this is true for Deshaun, it's done. He's done.
Done. He facing jail time.
He's done. It's a wrap for him. It's a wrap for him. He's done. He'll never play football again.
And the crazy thing is, you gonna talk about making an example. When we talking about women's rights, we
That's
talking
why I
about all
said
these things in
Ray,
the midst of that.
Ray,
If this
Ray
is true,
Rice. He's gonna be Ray Rice.
man, he gonna get worse. He gonna get worse than Ray Rice, bruh.
Ray Rice, man.
He
Ray
gonna
Rice.
get worse than Ray
Ray Rice.
Rice.
He's gonna get Ray Rice. Like, when the last time you even heard of Ray Rice?
Man, I didn't even know Ray Rice still. I didn't know Ray Rice still existed until you mentioned Ray Rice yesterday.
He's non-existent, bro.
I didn't even know. I forgot he played football.
Deshaun Watson, like Clemson is gonna, you know what I mean, disowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's gonna, like, it's gonna be almost like he never existed if this is true.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. I just, here's the thing, and I asked it in one of my other chats. I was saying, did it or not did it? If you did it or if you didn't do it, would you pay the money? And right now, at this point,
They gotta go away, bro. They gotta go away.
at this point,
They gotta go away. I'm not fighting it. I'm not fighting this. Right now, you just need this to go away.
Go away. If you're right or you're wrong,
it's not even worth the fight.
If they
It's
all
not
worth
even worth the fight.
If they all ask for 18, if they all ask for $1 million, and it's 18 of them, that's $18 million, bro. You made I think you just signed a $140 million deal over 4 years, I think.
And that's just you got. I think I seen them in a Gatorade commercial. So you got other endorsements too, man. Go make this go away, bro. Make this go away. If make this go away, because now they are starting to file charges, which means this isn't a civil suit just anymore. Everybody wanted, like, man, ain't nobody filing no charges. They just want money. Now let's get ready to get into the criminal aspect. So if you guilty or not, it doesn't really matter once you go into the criminal, because criminal charges, you're gonna have to be like completely innocent, not acquitted. You're gonna have to be found completely innocent. Like, they fabricated all the evidence. The story is not. They didn't have enough evidence, because in public opinion, you're gonna be guilty forever.
Here's a crazy thing, right? Who money longer? And again, I'm not saying that this is the issue. Not saying that this is where we are, but who money is longer? Kyle McNair's for Deshaun Watson.
Kyle McNair.
So, whatever lawyer, criminal defense, and stuff like that you can put together, Deshaun, he can one up. He can one up, man. So yeah, bro.
We just go away. I know you were trying to fight it to clear your name, but it's going down a path that maybe whether or not you did it or not, it may not matter.
It may not matter.
The fact of the allegations at this point may be more than
damage it did.
Yep.
Which is sad. That's sad that it's the world we live in. Yep. I'm innocent, but I gotta pay to prove my innocence. Because again, at the end of the day, you're a black man. I don't know the ethnicity of the women. But regardless, and again, I want to say this. That we are not saying that he's right or wrong. We're not saying. We're just saying, just looking at the evidence and looking at how everything is playing out, it's just not a good look right now. And I'm not saying I advocate for paying people off, because some will say, well, if you pay people off, isn't that proven that you're guilty? No, it's not.
Sometimes you just want to pay. Sometimes you pay just to make things go away. It's not even about. It's easier to just make them go away than it is to fight it. And again, it's at a point now where if he goes to trial, which now it looks like he may be, they're investigating. So if they find evidence, he can be arrested and go to trial, and or he can still have to pay, make it go away, whatever.
It's
Maybe,
almost. I'm gonna
but
go ahead. Go ahead.
it's just it can end worse for him going down this path. That's all I'm saying.
It's almost like this is where it getting murky. It's almost like with Kyle McNair now with Deshaun. Why I want to pay? I just want to get back to playing football. Yeah, I mean, I just want to get back to playing football, so I got to pay them off. And now, know what happens when he pays them off? He got to go back and play for the Texans now. I just want to get back to playing football. I don't want to go from that drama
And that's what's gonna happen.
to back to this drama. And now I really just want to get back to
He's
playing.
gonna eventually have to kick that money out to make it go away, and then he's gonna have to just stay in Houston and suck it up.
And that's all Kyle McNair wants, and that's where it gets murky because I feel as though he put all these things in motion.
Which is, I mean, and which is again, I'm not saying whether he did it or he didn't do it, but that's probably a part of his fight too. Like, man, no, I gotta clear my name so I can get out of here.
Out of here. So I can get out of here. Which is crazy because I don't think he's gonna play. Because I think that because of the number of people, because now you introduce 20 of the women that said they did it, and now you introduce another 18 that saying they didn't. Now you got to go through all those. You got to go through all of that.
But there's my question, and this is why it's a little weird. Deshaun, why were you seeing this many masseuses? Bro, you only needed to find one or two good ones, man. Like, why did you have almost 40? At least almost 40 at this point. With the 25 and then the 18 saying that you didn't, that's 38. Like, yeah, almost 40. How were you dealing with this many masseuses? I don't get it, bro. That's another thing that's making it weird. That's another thing that makes it weird, man.
You got 38 masseuses. I know it's 38 masseuses in the world. Like,
like, gosh, Houston, there must be a massage parlor in like every corner in Houston.
facts, my man had 38 masseuses. And he out here finding them on DMs and on Instagram. What you flying them in?
See, again, that makes the situation so much weirder. But anyway,
like my man Shannon said, bro, just hire one and stick with that one.
yeah,
I guarantee Deshaun Watson will never, ever. He probably listen.
he gonna have a masseuse on retainer.
Retainer. He probably ain't never gonna want to see the masseuse again. He probably delete his social media. I ain't gonna lie to you. He probably deleted social media and everything.
Gosh, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. But let's wrap up. Final thoughts. I'm gonna say this. My final thought is basically on the heels of what we just talked about with Deshaun Watson. So don't put yourself in bad situations. Just don't. I mean, good. You can have good intentions, and then they can turn out still as a bad situation, a sticky situation. So, especially as black men, I mean, black people in the world, assess the situation. Especially if you're making money, figure out if it's worth it or not, and then don't put yourself in bad situations. Or you find yourself with 38 women, 18 has to defend for you, and 20 saying that you did. When if you just did what we just said, be wise, hire one person, and I'm gonna keep it real. My masseuse would be a black male, not gay or nothing like that, but I'm just keeping it real. Hey, well, listen, in 2021, black male may get you too. Yeah, I mean, he may say that you're inappropriately pressing too. But anyway, don't put yourself in bad situations. That's my final thought, man, because you can turn out having to pay for your innocence.
My final thought is on the Kevin Durant, Michael Rappaport situation, and here's what I say. I can't say I don't know the relationship. So I don't know how they've spoken to each other in person. I don't know if they're cool or what. I don't know all of that. But I do know this. I know you cannot be opinionated about stuff and then somebody slide in your DMs about, something that you said, and then you cry wolf and cry victim and then put it out there. I thought that was a bad move on Michael Rappaport part that he put it out there. You could have spoke on it, but then to put it all out there, what was said back and forth, and then play tough guy afterwards. I just thought I'm not, and again, I thought KD what he said was kind of crazy. Some of it was kind of weird. But again, I don't know the relationship that those two have and if they talk to one another that kind of way. And this time Michael just was a little sensitive about it. I don't know. But I just know that it was weird. And again, you don't be opinionated and then get upset and mad that somebody come in your DMs and check you on some of the stuff that you said.
As opinionated as Michael Rappaport is, because he talks about a lot of different things. Here's another thing. The NBA to find KD the money for what he said in a private DM. I can't look at my things back. All right. I can't get behind that. To find him for that again for the Michael Rappaport thing. That's a private DM. That's like me and you going back and forth in our chat. Yeah, I mean, and I say something crazy, you say something crazy to me, and then you get mad or I get mad, and I put it out there, and I put it out there. That's clownish. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I could have talked to you. I could have called you. But for you to put it out there on social media like that to me sounds like you searching. So.
Yeah. Clout chasing.
Yeah. Listen, y'all know what it is. That's our show for the day. Once again, if y'all want to be on the show talking about anything, I'm talking about anything. Yeah, I mean, not just sports related. We can talk about what's going on in the culture of the world. Yeah, I mean, what's going on in the culture of your situation, your city, and everything like that. Whatever it is, make sure that y'all go to our link tree, shoot us an email or DM, whatever it is, if you want to be on the show. But if you like the show, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on our Facebook, holla at us on our Instagram. But until next time, y'all, I'm gonna holla at y'all. Speak on it. Peace.
Peace.